Welcome to the Nomadic Spaces Podcast, where we talk all things interior design, tiny houses, and happy homes. Each week, we explore different interior design strategies, the unique challenges of small spaces, and delve into the incredible lifestyle of tiny homes. Whether you're a fellow tiny house dweller or simply have an interest in interior design, this show has something for you. I am your host, Sarah Bronstein, and I live in Asheville, North Carolina with my pup Albus in a vintage travel trailer I renovated into my tiny dream house. I'm a professional interior designer and I run my own business called Sukkha Interior Design, and I'm also a licensed realtor with the Asheville Realty Group. Thank you so much for being here. If you like what you hear, please consider leaving a review, hitting some stars, subscribing, and or sharing this show. It's how little shows like this survive. Now, let's get into today's episode. Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of the Nomadic Spaces Podcast. I am your host, Sarah, and today's episode is going to be a guide to planning and executing a design project over an extended period of time. This is something that so many of my clients, especially investors, struggle with. And I'm really excited about today's episode because I think it's going to be really helpful to a lot of y'all listening. When we think of interior design projects, I think we tend to think about the HGTV type renovation where everything's done in one shot and there's a big reveal and that's kind of it. Whereas a lot of people need to make updates over time as they are able. And I see the biggest danger in executing a design project in phases is that the end result lacks cohesion and feels kind of discombobulated or irrelevant. In this episode, we're going to dive into the steps and considerations involved in planning and executing an interior design project over time. This is a really comprehensive episode, so I do recommend checking out the blog post version of this episode on my website. All the steps will be written out there, and it just might be a little easier to reference. Step 1. Define your vision and your goals. Before diving into the nitty-gritty details of your project, take the time to define your vision and goals. Consider the purpose of the space, your personal design preferences, and the functionality you want to achieve in each space. Create a vision board or a digital mood board to gather inspiration and ensure a cohesive theme throughout the entire project. This initial step lays the foundation for the entire design process. Step number 2, set a realistic budget. Budgeting is a crucial aspect of any interior design project. Determine how much you're willing to invest in the project and break down the budget into categories such as furniture, decor, materials, professional services. Be realistic about your financial capacity and prioritize essential elements to avoid overspending. Factor in a contingency budget for unexpected expenses that may arise during the project. One of the most common reasons I see clients interested in making updates over time is because of budget. This is a common strategy with many of my short-term rental investor clients where they want to invest enough upfront to make a property a successful rental, but want to plan some of the more major updates when the rental income generated can help finance those next phases of the project. Step 3, create a project timeline. That age-old adage, time is money, holds so true. When planning a design project to be implemented in phases, budget and timeline will often be the biggest considerations in prioritizing the design plan. Developing a realistic timeline is essential to keep the project on track, especially over an extended time period. Consider the scope of the project, the complexity of the changes, and any external factors that may impact the timeline, such as furniture deliveries or contractor availability. Understanding the time needed for construction work is vital, so gather as much information as you can up front. Break down the project into phases, setting milestones for each. A well-structured timeline helps you manage expectations and ensures that the project progresses smoothly. Step 4. Conduct a preliminary space assessment. Before making any design decisions, assess the current state of the space. Take note of existing architectural features such as windows, doors, and structural elements that may influence your design choices / budget prioritization. Evaluate the lighting conditions, both natural and artificial, as well as any potential challenges or opportunities presented by the layout. This assessment will inform the design decisions you make later in the process and help prioritize the order of the work. Step 5. Research and gather ideas. Inspiration can be found in a variety of sources, from design magazines and websites to social media platforms like Pinterest and Instagram. When I work with clients, this is often one of the first steps in the first phase of any type of design project. For me, that old saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words holds up gloriously. I can learn so much more about a client through the images that they respond to or provide than a vivid verbal or written description of their design style. Explore different styles, color schemes, and layouts that align with your vision. Save images and ideas that resonate with you and use them as references when making the design plan and choices later in the project. Images are also helpful when trying to convey ideas to other professionals, like myself. Showing a contractor the specific vision will help get accurate estimates for timelines and budget by minimizing the room for misunderstanding or misinterpretation. This research phase really helps you refine your preferences and develop a clearer vision for the space. Hi, friends. I hope you are enjoying this show. Listening to podcasts and reading blogs like this is a great way to gain knowledge. But to really make change, you need to take action. Luckily, taking action doesn't have to be overwhelming, timely, or expensive. My Desk Refresh Guide is a great resource you can download totally free from the link in the show notes. This guide will break down the redesign process into simple, actionable steps with tangible results to transform your space without spending a cent. Now let's get back to the episode. Step 6. Develop a design concept and theme. Building on your research, start developing a design concept and theme for the project. Pull together elements such as color palettes, patterns, and textures that will contribute to the overall aesthetic. Your design concept should align with the goals you defined earlier and create a cohesive narrative for the space. This is the stage where your vision really begins to take a more concrete form. In my work, this is the Design Project Jumpstart Notes, which organizes the entire project scope, sets up a proposed timeline, includes inspiration images and color palettes and themes for the entire space. The benefit of having this design jumpstart plan is that you have it to share ideas with your contractors and execute the design updates over the time span while still getting a cohesive and intentional interior design end result. Because you've made all these decisions somewhat upfront, it's going to feel more cohesive in the end than if you made these decisions little by little over the time. Step number 7, select materials and finishes. Once you have a solid design concept, it's usually time to choose the materials and finishes that will bring it to life. Consider factors such as durability, maintenance, and cost when selecting materials like flooring, wall coverings, and other finishes. Create a cohesive palette that complements your design concept while considering the practical aspects of each material and usage. Keep in mind that material selection can significantly impact the overall look and feel of the space. Step number 8, consider professional services. Depending on the complexity of your project and your DIY skills, you may need to enlist the help of professionals such as architects, interior designers, or contractors. Engage with these professionals early in the planning process to benefit from their expertise and insights. They can provide valuable advice on design considerations, structural changes, building codes, and price estimates. Establish clear communication channels and expectations to ensure a collaborative and smooth working relationship should you choose to move forward with any of them. Step number 9, develop a furniture and decor plan. With the foundational elements in place, it's time to plan the arrangement of furniture and decor. Consider the scale of the space and the proportions of existing or new furniture pieces. Create a layout that optimizes traffic flow and maximizes functionality. This step involves making decisions on furniture styles, upholstery, and decorative elements that align with the design concept. Keep in mind the balance between aesthetics and practicality. Step 10. Plan for lighting. Effective lighting is a crucial but often overlooked aspect of interior design. Develop a lighting plan that considers all the lighting, ambient, task, and accent lighting, to create a well-balanced and visually appealing space. Explore a mix of natural and artificial lighting sources, taking into account the specific needs of each area within the space. Lighting can enhance the mood, highlight architectural features, and just contribute to the overall ambiance of the interior. Step 11. Consider sustainable design practices. In an era of increased environmental awareness, incorporating sustainable design practices into your project is not only responsible, but also very on trend. Explore eco-friendly materials, energy-efficient lighting, and sustainable furniture options. Prioritize products with certifications indicating environmental friendliness. Sustainable design not only reduces your ecological footprint, but can also contribute to the long-term durability, health, and value of the space. Step 12. Develop a procurement plan. With the design details in place, create a procurement plan for purchasing furniture, decor, materials, and any other items needed for the project or this project phase. Consider lead times for ordering custom pieces and coordinate deliveries to align with the project timeline. Keep accurate records of the orders, the receipts, and warranties for reference and future maintenance. A well-organized procurement plan helps avoid delays and ensures a seamless execution of this design phase. Step 13. Plan for construction and installation. If your project involves structural changes or significant renovations, plan the construction phases accordingly. Develop a construction timeline, coordinate with contractors, and obtain any necessary permits. Communicate closely with all the professionals involved to ensure that the construction process aligns with the overall project timeline. During this phase, attention to detail is crucial to achieving the desired outcome. Step 14, design implementation. As construction concludes and the space starts to take shape, it's time to implement the design. Coordinate the delivery and installation of furniture and decor according to your procurement plan. Work closely with contractors to address any unforeseen issues that may have arisen during installation. Pay attention to the placement of every detail, ensuring that the final result aligns with your vision and the overall design concept. Step 15, evaluate and refine. As each phase is implemented, take the time to evaluate the space and make any necessary refinements. Consider factors such as functionality, aesthetics, and comfort. Solicit feedback from others who will be using the space and make adjustments as needed. If you are renting, pay attention to the reviews as feedback for not only what is working well in the space, but what could be improved next time. This final step ensures that each phase completed not only meets your initial goals, but can also guide future phases. As this episode comes to a conclusion, the last step is celebrate your achievements. Planning and executing an interior design project over time requires a strategic approach, attention to detail, and a passion for creating a space that reflects your vision. These comprehensive steps can help you navigate the complexities of the design process with confidence. Remember that interior design is a dynamic and evolving journey, and that each decision contributes to the overall tapestry of your living space. Make sure to celebrate your achievements step by step, phase through phase. Embrace the transformation and enjoy the fruits of your labor as each phase completes. I don't often plug services here, but if you are planning a design project to be implemented over time and haven't considered the Design Project Jumpstart, please do. It's the perfect blueprint to use throughout the entirety of a project to ensure that a cohesive and successful end result is reached. Please reach out to me via email or through my website or any of the links in the show notes. I'd really love to connect with you. Until next week, home happy! I hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring. My goal with this show is to help others make changes that transform their space. But just absorbing content, even brilliant content like this, doesn't get results. Taking action does. If you are still listening, you might be ready to fully accomplish your design goals. My challenge to you is commit to taking one action right now before you don't. Taking action might look like booking a Design Project Jumpstart. Or maybe it's signing up for the free desk refresh guide. Or maybe it's signing up for my mailing list. Or maybe it's scheduling a complimentary connection call to virtually meet and discuss your design goals in more detail. You can find more about all those fun things I just mentioned, as well as reach out to me directly through my website, which is sukkhainteriordesign.com. That is Sukkhainteriordesign.com. I love connecting, so please don't be a stranger. As always, thank you for tuning in and for being a part of this community. If you liked what you heard on this episode or show, please take a second to like, review, subscribe, and share this podcast with your friends and family. It is truly the easiest way to show support for me and this tiny niche podcast. Until next time, take care and home happy.